To the tower! Justice for our... Aye, to the tower!
They'll answer for their tyranny.
In 1689, the English people did something extraordinary. They rose up and defeated a tyrannical king who believed he was above the law. They forced him to flee the country and brought in a new monarch, but only on one condition: that power would never again rest in the hands of one man alone. The Declaration of Rights was primarily drafted by a group of leading Whig statesmen in the Convention Parliament. The chief architect and main author was Lord John Somers, one of the most brilliant legal minds of the age. Working in this environment was Sir John Holt, who would soon become Lord Chief Justice. Holt was a passionate defender of common law and ancient English liberties. Together, these men helped create a historic document, the Bill of Rights. They did not want to create something temporary. They wanted a permanent foundation, a document that would protect the people from tyranny for all time. They believed these rights were not gifts from the king, but ancient birthrights belonging to every Englishman.
We, the framers, present the Bill of Rights. This document protects the rights of English families. It safeguards our liberties and homes. For the people, forever.
This was never meant to be just another dusty law. It was meant to be a permanent contract between the rulers and the ruled, a shield against tyranny. It declared that no king could suspend laws, impose taxes without consent, or rule by arbitrary power. These rights belong to the people.
Another bloody camera.
They're everywhere. It's ridiculous.
Yet today, many English men and women feel that same tyranny has returned, not from a king in a palace, but from distant government, faceless bureaucrats, regional mayors, and international agendas. Rights that were fought for and won over centuries have been quietly stripped away. How did this happen? And more importantly, can we get them back? This is the story of how England's ancient constitution was slowly stolen, and how ordinary people can still take it back. This is Stolen Rights, the forgotten English constitution.
Their interference. My divine right is absolute. You dare defy your sovereign.
The realm demands a Protestant king. William of Orange must come. We sign for England.
England in the late 17th century was in crisis. King James II was turning into an absolute ruler. He suspended laws, imprisoned opponents without trial, and tried to rule by royal decree. The English people had enough. In 1688, they carried out a bloodless revolution, the Glorious Revolution, and invited William of Orange and Mary to take the throne.
These ancient parchments remind us of our duty. We must uphold the principles of justice with the same passion and integrity as those who came before us. The Bill of Rights of 1689 marked a pivotal moment, limiting royal power and establishing key liberties for the people.
Lord John Somers and the other framers of the Bill of Rights wrote it with extraordinary vision. They crafted the document not as a temporary political agreement, but as a permanent safeguard designed to secure the freedom and liberties of the English people forevermore. The English Convention Parliament showed remarkable foresight. They understood that these hard-won rights and new statutes would one day come under attack. So these great men worked deliberately to entrench our ancient liberties deep into the fabric of English life. Through careful wording, multiple declarations, and successive writings over the years, they attempted to build unbreakable protections that future generations could inherit and defend.
To justice.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to defend freedom of speech protected by this Bill of Rights. Article 9 clearly states that parliamentary speech cannot be questioned in any court. We must uphold this right against all threats. Let this House stand firm.
The evidence is compelling, but we need to be certain.
Defendant's alibis falls.
But what about the witness who placed him elsewhere? That witness seemed unreliable under cross-examination.
The English Constitution Society argues that the Bill of Rights was never intended to be just another ordinary law that future parliaments could casually erase. It was a solemn contract. Somers and the Convention Parliament wanted it to stand as higher law, protecting the people from both royal tyranny and future governmental overreach.
And thereupon the said Lords spiritual and temporal, and commons do enact that the rights and little moments followeth.
What did it change,
It
Papa?
meant the king could no longer rule without the people's consent. This book has guided us for centuries. Its wisdom is timeless.
I will honor it.
This is the English Bill of Rights from 1689. Its incredible on free speech and petitioning the Crown still protects us today. A direct line from this parchment to our rights now.
To future generations, safeguard liberty, for history shows it is fragile. Justice must prevail against tyranny. Your vigilance today secures freedom tomorrow.
The key protections were crystal clear. No king could suspend or dispense with laws, no taxation without the consent of Parliament, free elections, freedom of speech in Parliament, no cruel or unusual punishments, the right to bear arms for self-defence. These were not privileges, they were the birthright of every free Englishman.
This clause from the 1689 Bill of Rights is foundational.
It echoes the Magna Carta's principles of liberty.
So it's a direct ancestor of our modern rights.
Exactly. This is why these studies matter.
England's heritage, our future, peaceful and proud.
John Somers famously said, "This document must be kept and passed down through the generations." He wanted every child and grandchild to know their rights. He believed that if the people forgot these protections, tyranny would eventually return in a new form.
The English have rights, the British have rules. These documents are the foundation of our liberties, the bedrock of our nation. We must cherish them and uphold them for future generations.
Graham Moore and the English Constitution Society argue we must first recognise the Bill of Rights as a constitutional statute with special protection. Future parliaments were not allowed to quietly repeal core rights. We need to enforce the Constitution and repeal acts that were quietly introduced that infringe on our common law rights.
It's a long queue, but worth it. I'm hopeful for change.
Absolutely, this is our chance for a better future.
We must establish a proper English Parliament to handle English matters. This would end the current unfair system and stop England being regionalised and ruled by remote bureaucrats. We also need binding referendums on all major constitutional changes, so the people, not just politicians, have the final say. We must reduce the power of administrative law and return to the supremacy of common law. Limit Henry VIII clauses, reform the civil service, reduce the influence of global organisations like the WEF, bring power back closer to the English people where it belongs. Graham Moore argues that one of the most important steps to restoring the English Constitution is to address the judiciary itself. He believes that judges who consistently fail to uphold the ancient rights and protections contained in the Bill of Rights must be removed from office. Moore calls for the impeachment of such judges and a complete rewriting of the judicial oath. The new oath should bind judges to defend the fundamental English Constitution above all else, putting a final stop to judicial tyranny and the slow erosion of our liberties. This will not be easy. It will require education, persistence, and voting for parties and candidates who truly believe in restoring England's ancient constitution. But if enough of us remember the spirit of 1689 and the words of John Somers, we can still reclaim what was stolen from us. The English Constitution was never meant to be forgotten. It was written to protect the people from tyranny, whether from kings, governments, or distant elites. The time has come to remember who we are, reclaim our rights, and restore our ancient liberties. The fight for England's soul begins with you.
This is my England, the land of the free. The world has gone nuts now, When tyranny strikes and they take away your rights, just turn to the land of all that went before us. It's time to drop all the trust, 'cause this is my England, the land that I love. They say it's the closest thing to heaven above. This is my England, the land of the free. Common law is all we have now. We have to make it succeed.